Hey everybody, this is Pops coming to you from the Mush Lab. We're gonna look at today doing Uncle Ben's tech with our twist tech, originally prepping the bag. You can see some previous video that we showed twist tech and how we prepare the bag. But for today's video, we're gonna do a grain to grain transfer into the bag. We get a lot of questions. Pops, can you do it differently? Can you put grain to grain? Can you do agar instead of just doing syringes of multispore or liquid culture into the bag? The answer is yes. And why would you do it? Fast forward, the answer being you have a pre-prepared bag. So it's very easy to do. This isn't the simple easy tech where you can do it without a flow hood or a still air box. You would definitely need that. But to do what we're gonna do it pretty fast. I'm not gonna spend as much time talking. I'll go through the actions here. So thank you for joining me to look at this. If you like what we go through here at the end of the video, if you get an opportunity to hit like and maybe even subscribe, we're trying to drive those numbers up so we can have a bigger presence on this platform for advocacy purposes, and at the same time looking to educate and entertain from Popshrooms. You can see us at Popshrooms2 on Ig. So let's get started. We have a jar of well inoculated grain. It's popcorn. We're going to take that and we're going to show you how we put it into our bag. Remember, I'm telling you that I've already prepared the bag with our twist tech. So the twist tech is a certain way that we prep the bag. We have it trimmed around the bottom and we've got it nice and tight with a ball down here at the bottom. Huge is this. Make sure you have no loose grains up here in the what we call the chimney of the bag. Make sure there's nothing loose, and it's easy to tell if you look up into a light. You could literally see individual grains in there. And if you do, then you'll just want to sort of move those down and packed in tight with that ball. I again encourage you to go look at a previous video that we've done that explains how we prepare these bags. And if you look at that, it's a real in-depth explanation for it. Though we don't want to spend the time today. We'll rather spend the time at showing you how we do this. So I'm a one-man gang today, except for Professor Shrooms is always with us, Professor! And as a result, I have to do some of the film work myself, and it'll also be maybe a little bit hard to hear me because I'm going to be turning the flow hood on. So I'm going to go turn the flow hood on, come over and I'm going to adjust the camera so you can see more of what I'm doing with my hand, and we'll just get after it, okay? Thank you. Flow hood on. And then we'll do a camera adjust. Try to really adjust in on what I'm doing. Okay. So we've already prepared our bags with our twist tech. We've also already prepared, previous to the video, four pieces of tape that we're going to use to seal the top of our bag. And we're also going to have another piece of tape to seal our clipped corner. So we're going to end up with 4 bags across the top, and another 4 for the clipped corner. I'm offering the tape as a suggestion for those that don't have an impulse sealer. We do have impulse sealers, and we're going to show you how to seal it with an impulse sealer. But sometimes, even though I'll use the impulse sealer, I'll still put a piece of tape across the top just to be sure. So we'll get started here. Get my bags where my chimneys are flat. This is an example of where we're going to clip the corner. Get them all flattened out like so. Now, in this technique, there's a lot of cleanliness involved, so I'm going to want to stay pretty clean throughout the whole process. Even though we've wiped most of the stuff down, even ran it through the sterilizer recently, we're going to go ahead and wipe it all down one more time here. I'm wiping off here at the top of my chimneys because we're going to be cutting the top of the bag there. I kind of like to set myself up so when I'm ready to make my moves, I make them all real fast. Okay. I'm also going to get my spoon ready. Just a regular spoon. Same one I've been using for years here. Keep it in front of my airflow. I'll go ahead and open my bag, excuse me, my jar, and let it breathe. Wow. Woo-hoo, beautiful. Beautiful. So, there's a manufacturer seam at the top of the bag. We want to cut our bag across the top here as close to that seam as we can because we want to save as much of the chimney as possible. So, we're looking for a cut across the top of the bag. Right there. I'm going to take each bag and give myself a little mouth. I'm also looking down in there and seeing if I'm nice and compact, which we did a nice job of prepping these bags. Nothing loose. I'm going to take about a spoonful. I might be a little generous today for the demo. Put a couple spoonfuls will go in each bag. Very rich looking. Save that for the other bags. Now, if you have an impulse sealer, which I have right here, you can come over to your impulse sealer, reseal your bag. I had the temperature set just right. This bag's resealed as if it's from the factory. I'm going to do the same thing to one more. If you don't have an impulse sealer, you're going to take a longer piece of tape that we prepped, and you're going to run it across the top here. And you're going to fold it over. And we're going to use two on the top of those. So we give ourselves a pretty darn good seal. Less of a filter and more of a seal. Okay. I'm pretty confident in the seal on this bag. The seal on this bag. Certainly the seal on this one. Got a factory, virtually a factory seal with the donation. And same thing here. Now, we've donated that grain. It's loose sort of in there. Let's get it back down, tight in with that other grain that we had tight before. We don't want it up there tight. We're gonna twist ourselves back. As so. One good thing that using the popcorn I have found is the popcorn, the individual bigger kernels are easy to push down into the rice to help colonize that rice so easily. And if they're loose up in here, you feel them. So that feels great. Same thing here. I prep my bags, get all my my colonized donation tucked into that grain. Not loosening my chimney. I can't repeat that enough, even though I keep repeating it. Sorry. You can actually feel the corn pushing down into the rice. It's pretty amazing. Okay? So now we do our final step. Our final step is the same as we showed you on the other video, twist tech video. There, we've got our 4 pieces of tape already ready. We're going to take those and we're going to clip across the corner of the bag, right here, virtually giving Uncle Ben a haircut, just across the top, barely touching his hair at an angle, like so. We're looking to get about an inch hole right here. Want a nice breathing hole on this tech in these bags. Now I'm going to take that tape that I had prepared and I'm going to do the same thing we saw us do on the top. Just fold it over like that. Okay. So now I am creating the filter for this bag at the top of the chimney. So we do that, do all the bags. And our final step is going to be, we're going to trim off the excess tape. So, other than somebody's gloves splitting, you know how that happened. This is going very nice. These bags will be fully colonized, my bet, about 10 days. So here's an example of 2 bags that were started 10 days ago, the same tech. A little bit left on this one. So that right there is how we do it. I'm going to move the camera for a moment. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for taking the time to watch that, and I hope it's helpful and educational, and it should be something that you can easily do. If I didn't spend the time talking and gabbing about the whole thing, probably could have gotten those bags done in about 3 or 4 minutes and moved on to this group with the rest of that jar, and I'll have some viable spawn here in about 10 days. So it's an exciting tech. We love to show different things that we can do with Uncle Ben's, and we just love to show everything that it's possible to do in the Michael world at the beginning level, and just show as much, spread as much knowledge as we possibly can out here. So thanks again for watching this video. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up on it. Those things go a long way in this algorithms thing that goes on, and we want to thank you again from Popshrooms. Be nature, be basic, and be kind to one another.